Hello, my name's Kona, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing the Explore Note series with notes 16 through 30 of Dankeya. But before we dive in, I'd like to tell you guys that I now have a Discord channel. If you're at all interested in keeping up to date with the progress of the videos, or if you'd just like to interact with me personally, it's a great place to do that. The join link for that channel will be in the description down below, and I look forward to seeing you there. So without further ado, let's get into the notes. Enjoy, Survivor. I expected those mantises to come back, but not like this. They came at the village from two sides at the same time, and the way they moved, they were more coordinated than any wolf pack. They worked together like men would. Took nearly half a day to fend them off, and they didn't leave us without scars. If attacks like this become common, we're going to be in a heap of trouble. So I've decided to round up my best men to track these monsters down. We've got to at least find out where they're coming from. We've been tracking these damn things for ages. I can't believe they traveled so far just to attack us. Something like that has to be deliberate. I already knew these bugs were smart, but if they're that determined to kill us, then we've got to wipe them out here and now. That's easier said than done. There's a whole mess of them here. Can't say I heard of any mantises living in a group like this, but I'm no expert when it comes to animals. Certainly not in this crazy place. At any rate, I've got to come up with some kind of plan. Shooting them one by one won't do the trick. I'm glad I decided to take Sasha with me. The Russian showed up in Nasty less than a month ago, but she already knew her way around a gun. Says she learned it in a place called crude. Never heard of it, but apparently they teach you all sorts of tricks there, like how to make bombs more powerful than dynamite. The caves the mantises are holed up in are filled with sulfur. So, if we set Sasha's bombs in the right spot, we should be able to wipe them all out at once. Provided we can shoot our way in and out without being mantis chow. Well, Captain, time to earn your title. I can't recall the journey back to town, but I remember the caverns. The mantises didn't take too kindly to our intrusion. Took half of my men with them before we blew them to hell. Well, most of them. One came at us while we were celebrating, and I pushed Sasha out of the way like a damn fool. Nearly got myself skewered. Now Raya's got me all cooped up until I finish recovering. Threatened to tie me to the bed if I tried to leave, Benny so often. She was even here when I first woke up. I admit, I was glad to see the sight. How long have I wanted this? I can't place it exactly, but it feels like I was always here. I suppose that's how I know it's right. It's not just that Raya's beautiful. I've known beautiful women before, but I never got the same feeling when I looked at them. I never felt this at home, around them, or anyone for that matter. What happened between us when I was stuck in that room, it wasn't a heat-of-the-moment decision. At least I don't think. All I know is that now I don't mind sleeping in the same bed every night. Not anymore. Maybe I should change my name again. Seems fitting. I started calling myself John about a week after joining up with Doc Russo. The others never called me Dahkeya anyway, so I figured they may as well call me by a name I chose myself. That was part of it, but I think that deep down I also knew that the boy who earned the name Dahkeya was gone for good. Now I think the outlaw named John Dahkeya is gone too, so it would make sense to call myself something else. Then again, that may just confuse folks. Probably not worth the hassle. Besides, I kind of like the way it sounds with an Egyptian accent. Things have been quiet for a while now. Downright pleasant even. At least that was the case until one of our hunting parties went missing about 5 days ago. Well, they're not missing anymore. At least what's left of them. We scoured every inch of their camp and still can't figure out who attacked them. There aren't many prints from animals, and what ones we found aren't like any creature we've seen. There are scorch marks aplenty though. Maybe it was a group of raiders with some of those new flame-spewing weapons that I've heard tell about. Whoever it was, I'll see to it that they live just long enough to regret it. We finally tracked down our culprit this morning, and damn was that one big mean son of a gun. He had wings like a bat, a head like a lizard, and spat fire from his mouth. I've never seen anything like it. Not here. Fortunately, anything will die if you put enough bullets in its head. One of my men called it a wyvern, but he'd never actually seen one before. Said it was just a legend. No one in town had seen one either. So where'd it come from? Did it just suddenly fly here from parts unknown? This whole affair doesn't sit right with me. Gives me a bad feeling. Folks have been spotting a lot more of these wyvern creatures, and they're not just throwing fire every which way either. Some spit lightning or acid. On top of that, those big pillars are acting funny. I checked with Sasha, since she doesn't buy into that Hathor business, and she sees it too. It's making me restless. Between this and the mantises, it's starting to feel like this place wants us gone. I know that can't be right. There were no spirits of the land to stop the frontiersmen back home, and there are none here. Still, I should talk to Raya. If that tower's dangerous, she shouldn't be worshipping it. I shouldn't have expected her to listen. Raya's kept her faith this long, so there was no way a few wyverns and a talking to were going to change that, even if that talking to came from me. Still, I'm not about to take any chances, whether it's wyverns, mantises, or giant towers. Nothing's harming this town, and it's especially not harming her. Her prayer groups are getting extra guards, and I don't care if she likes it. I expect she won't. In fact, I'll probably have to sleep under the stars for the next few nights. Oh well. I suppose that's what you'd call a long-term investment. For all my caution, I could have never prepared for this. Yesterday, the towers started flashing and glowing like a damn lightning storm. When I saw that, I saddled up one of our cats and went to find Raya as fast as I could. Within minutes, the ground was crumbling beneath us, like the land was trying to swallow Nasti whole. Once I swung Raya up onto the saddle, I had to ride like a man possessed, our cat leaping across broken buildings as they slipped into the ground. Even then, we barely made it, but we're the only ones. I spotted Sasha hanging onto a ledge as we escaped, but I couldn't get to her in time. We're all that's left. I wish I were better with words. I just don't know what to tell Raya after all that's happened. A loss like that is always going to ache, but nothing I do or say seems to ease that hurt at all. You know things are ugly when I'm the optimistic one. For now, I've just got to keep us focused on staying alive, step by step. We're going back to the basics, finding water, finding food, and finding shelter. This snaggletooth cat and I are all she's got left, and that means I've got to be steady for her. Somehow, we'll make it through this. So far, so good. The cat has helped keep critters away, so I've conserved ammunition, and we're all stocked up on supplies. For the immediate future, I'd say we're safe and secure. Further than immediate, though, I'm not sure. Neither of us are builders, and there are bigger, tougher animals than long-toothed cats out there. Eventually, we'll need to find some new friends. Nasti is the biggest settlement in the desert, but it couldn't have been the only one. I'd heard rumors that a hunting party had seen some buildings to the west. Sounds like as good a place to start as any. Damn it to hell! I had everything under control. We were going to make it, but I just had to go searching for that town. What a stupid, boneheaded decision. It's not that the rumor was wrong. There are buildings, all right. Crumbling, abandoned buildings that are half buried in sand, and home to a group of damned wyverns that attacked us on the way in. We managed to give them the slip by taking shelter in this big circular building, but they've been circling ever since. We've got enough supplies for nearly a week. Hopefully they'll lose interest before we start to run dry. The wyverns haven't left. They're fixated on us. Well, if they want me so bad, they'll get it. I'm not foolhardy enough to fight them on my own, but I can at least insist that Raya take our mount. Raya, if that happens and you're reading this, don't go crying on my account. The time we've had is more than I could have hoped for. Besides, it'd be downright selfish for me to keep you to myself when you've got so much to offer the world. As for me, I've only got one true talent, And those ugly, overgrown lizards will find out just what that is when I drag them to hell.